that's a triple play. New episodes, I couldn't wait. Yeah, open your mind at the first gate. Press play, no need to debate. AoA, check me out. Look, clocked in, you can catch the hype. Golden Dawn, how we follow the light. Anime like life, married to it, my wife.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages? Welcome back to the AoA show. I'm your host, as always, Ian, along with my boys Isaiah.
Yo, yo, yo.
And Gavin.
What it is.
And what it do. And today we are going to talk about Tower of God, the webtoon that is, chapters 27 to 43. This will cover, majority of the bulk of the discussion is going to cover the first part of the A-B test, which we will call it, where QUANT will be trying to obtain, or tag rather, the it person with the badge. But there is some stuff to talk about before that, the wrapping up of the crown game and some of the exposition and things that happen while we're preparing for that next test. Just a quick shout out to anyone who's been commenting, subscribing. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Tower of God, the fan base has just been fucking awesome. They've been incredible. Nice. They've been commenting like crazy. I've been doing my best to respond to every single comment out there, so thank you for that. Great engagement, throwing the likes, hitting the subscription. You guys are great. I really do appreciate it. And some prayers have been answered here. If you notice, we have this beautiful monitor now, so we will be able to pull up some of the webtoon.
It's like the most car salesman.
Yeah, I know, I'm the worst. But so we'll be able to pull up the webtoon on here, which I will do momentarily, and we'll be able to scroll through it. And if there's specific parts, we'll try and highlight it and switch the screen to there so you guys can kind of follow along with what we are doing. It's not perfected yet, but I mean, you know, I'll get the rhythm.
Baby steps.
Yeah, baby steps. I'll get the rhythm with my laptop eventually, so bear with me. But that's really exciting shit, so I'm really happy to get into this. And remember, guys, if you do enjoy the content, make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell, commenting your thoughts below, and sharing with your friends. Facts. If you are listening on another podcast platform today, please throw a follow there. And if you don't have us on socials yet, I don't know what you're doing at this point. You need to grow up. It's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can follow us there to keep up to date with the latest and greatest that's going on. If you want to take that support to the final step, you can hit us up on Patreon. That's patreon.com/AoA show, or all these links are in the description down below. But let's hop
like
right
toy.
into it.
Just wind them up and watch them go.
Yeah, there's Ian, and then there's me and Isaiah in the background, like, please, we're broke.
And then I'm just like, when I'm done. Yeah, right. Anyway, hopping right into it. So the first thing, I'm just going to be scrolling through some of the things that aren't all that relevant. I will try and zoom in. Again, bear with me here a little bit here. Hopefully y'all can see that decently. But we kind of get through. Look at that shot of Rack. Perfection. Anyway, we get
We're
through.
done. That's it. We've already peaked.
We get Anyway, we wrap up the crown game, in which Bam kind of goes fucking ballistic, quite literally, and is able to control Shinsu without actually controlling Shinsu. He kind of embodies the thing itself. You know, and then the test is over and we're kind of in the aftermath of it. Leroro is like, what the fuck was that? I don't know, you know, it's like, it's like if you teach like first grade level, you know what I mean? And all of a sudden some kid like hits you with some like math equation that's like college level, and the teacher's like, whoa, what the fuck is going on here? Like, go to the principal, what's happening?
At least for me in math in general, when like the kid would start arguing with the teacher, but like actually was right. And
Exactly.
Is he right? I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, like it starts off, you know they're wrong because they're a kid, but then again, you're like, you get to a point where you just start like second guessing your own life, and you're like, oh shit, have they been right this whole time? Like, am I the asshole?
All the kids in class are like, ooh. You know what I mean? Lara Rose like, dude, I didn't sign up for this. So he goes and tells Hansung, who's basically just indifferent to the whole thing. He's like, well, no shit, Lara Rose, you dummy. Clearly I know more than you because there's more background shit going on here. I'm just going to sip my coffee and be like that. And Lara Rose like, all right, fine, I'll leave, man. Fuck you.
Coffee. I love that this nigga just drinks instant coffee like water.
Oh my God, for real, dude. He's like on rails. So anyway, we do a flashback to when he does it and fucking blows that chick's face right off her fucking wig. So then let's move on from there.
I like how that made no sense. He's like, he just blew her face right off her wig. Like,
in human anatomy, the face is below your hair usually.
Yeah, he wigged her.
Like, dude, then when he cut off her foot right next to her shoulder, that was crazy.
It wasn't that funny, right?
No, it was stupid. That's the whole point.
He blew her wig off of her head, okay?
There you go.
How is that? Are we all satisfied? That's great.
Look, it didn't cost you anything extra to be correct.
No, that's it. And also, this isn't loading. That's great. We have a fucking, this is fucking phenomenal. The moment of truth. We've tested this for like countless hours before we're like, we're ready. Throw it online. Fucking web browsers down. Anyway, going back, fucking, all right. So fuck it. I skipped chapter 27, but it doesn't really matter because nothing really happened. It's basically Bam is in a coma, and Rachel goes to Kun and is like, call me Michelle, because I don't need Bam knowing who I am. Because
she's on that Batman shit.
Yeah, she's
call
like,
me Michelle. Hi, Rachel. Like, nobody's buying your shit.
Facts, right? Because I totally underestimate Bam's intelligence. Anyway, moving on. So then we get kind of the comedic shit with Shibasu.
Although that was fucking hilarious, dude.
Yeah,
when
that
he
was
grabs
really
it,
funny.
he gets shocked, and she's like, "Oh, well, I guess you're not the man who I thought you were." And he's like, "No."
Yeah, that was fucking hysterical because Anak can't get the Black March to work in her favor,
can't ignite it,
and neither can Shibasu, and clearly it has a thing for Bam. So then in Dorsey talking her shit to Anak, and this is where we kind of get the inkling, you know, if you didn't watch the anime or already read this, which you probably already did, but that Anak is an imposter in some way, shape, or form, right? So she clearly with the temper over here. Look at that shit. Boom. Look at that shot. First of all, hang on. Ready for this?
Yeah, Gavin, how good does it look in your camera?
I mean, I look pretty fucking good. I don't know.
Yeah, you
about
look
the
good.
webtoon.
But I'm talking about that fist action, boy. No, it looks good. Anyway, so Anak freaks out, fucking hits in Dorsey's.
And showcasing those shields, dude, those things are dope. I love every time she like just fucking pops them out of nowhere.
Yeah.
She had her angry dinosaur.
Yeah, basically talking shit on her, you know, and everything there. Like I said, Rachel talks to Kun. You know, we have some flashbacks as well. There's nothing really that separates too much. I don't know why. I have to say, I love that just everyone is just steady munching on bananas in like the past fucking 12 fucking, I swear to God, 12 fucking panels at this point or chapters. Rax always munching on a banana. Fucking Rachel's munching on bananas.
Well, and I like how they always have like a tie back to where it's like, yeah, she's like Rachel's eating the banana, but then they have Rack come in later on, and he's like, "Well, who the fuck keeps on eating the banana? She just gonna come and eat my shit." And it's like, it's funny because it's like that thing of where you like to mention where if there's a shotgun on the wall, you know, using the next thing. They always do that. Like they're like very resourceful.
It like ties together every almost character and scene like just by juxtaposition.
Yep,
it's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Rack comes in. Obviously hysterical, where he's like, no, I wasn't concerned about Bam. He's like, wake up. You know what I mean? He's going through it.
Yeah.
So then we move on. Bam is, you know, gonna be is getting out of the coma, and they're like, well, how did you not fail? And it's like, well, you got lucky because your teacher was late, which, you know, that's cool. And then they go through explaining the roles of all of the
like the positions.
Yeah, the positions. Thank
you.
Roles. So you got your fisherman on there, disarms the enemy by using real inventory, blah, 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 which actually also shout out to everyone because they were describing, we were like, well, why doesn't Bam have an inventory, right? Along with his pocket, we were saying to put the black, put the Black March. The inventory is something that's actually separate from your pocket, and it's something that you actually purchase with credits, just like they do their food, like their points and stuff. It's like a literal video game where it's like, okay, I'm going to purchase bag space. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to get the inventory, I'm going to get the pocket, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that.
Thank you for that clarification. So I was like, why is he just being
know what you're talking about?
Yeah. Anyway, thank you for everyone who was letting me know that.
No, for real, yeah.
Yeah, so you got your fishermen, your spear bearers. I'm not going to go crazy through it because you all know the drill at this point. You got your scouts, you got your wave controllers who are basically mages at that point. And then there's going to be more positions in the future, which we just haven't run into yet as well. So Kun is kind of explaining the whole rundown. We have... you know, the scouts and the wave controllers, and we have everyone put into their specific positions. And then from there, we go into some of the training and the tests that they go through on here.
Oh, what was interesting?
Go ahead.
Rachel was listed as the best seed in her like department, if you remember on that list.
Interesting.
Which I thought was like, why was she considered? I forgot who she was matched with. It was two people.
I don't remember.
I can't even remember the role now that like I'm actually thinking about it. But
she's a lighthouse person.
Is she a lighthouse person?
I correct me if I'm
I
wrong.
think she was best seed with Kun. It was like her and Kun
Was
were
it?
best
Okay.
seeds. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I thought that was
swore
interesting.
I thought
like,
she was a lighthouse person or something like that. Yeah.
So that if we're referencing that, and you know, obviously she's going to continue going on in the tower in her whole journey, I wonder if she has almost like the mental strategy like state similar to Kun, but a little bit different. Because obviously we don't know too much about her, but she stays in the tower after Bam, you know, spoilers after the anime. Like, she has to have some sort of role in this world. So if she's a lighthouse, she must have some like in-depth strategy mind. Maybe I'm giving her too much credit. I don't know.
You're probably giving her too much credit.
That's true. I also know that she sucks. So.
No, she sucks, but like obviously they get rid of people who aren't supposed to be there, so there has to like she can't just get strung along for the ride. Like I feel like it has to be a purpose for her to be in this. So
or she could die,
or she can die, which everybody wants her to die. But
I'm
I don't
gonna
know.
Use every opportunity
no,
that was brought up to talk about a bunch of hate.
I just saw she was best seed, and I was like, she's the best seed. She's like the rotten fucking egg. What do you mean, bitches? But
she's got him fooled apparently. So then we get to Bam's testing specifically, and we got Rice Ball coming in, who's like Lopo Ren or something like that. Yeah. And he's explaining how Shinsu works. So I actually thought this was interesting because they explain this in the anime. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to look like an idiot if this isn't here. But if I'm not mistaken, he also explains... does he? No, never mind. I just look like an idiot.
It was literally
moving on. No, I was talking about the like where they get the they could use one bang and then one sue. And then does he explain it here?
It's a little bit further.
Oh, okay. I was like, wow, I just look really stupid right now.
Yeah,
but anyway,
this is when he does the contract.
They're explaining it, and then Bam goes through his contract. Yeah. Now, what's interesting here is that the first of all, we get a better look. I feel at the. Jeez Louise.
Well, if you scroll down, they have like an actual like you look at him head on.
Yeah. We get a better look at him, I feel, than we did in the.
Nothing is scarier about a thing that like takes up the whole screen.
Dude, not only that, like they like look at this little bitch and look at that. That's what I'm
saying is like perspective. Like, you don't even get to see his
this.
face.
Like that. I thought that was a dope ass shot.
Yeah, that's cool, man. And it really just shows the gravity of how fucking large and terrifying this thing is.
Like I would piss myself. I don't know how Bam is so. He's like,
Bam is just so indifferent.
No, that's a giant turtle.
I feel like Bam would have the same reaction if he bought a loaf of bread or won the lottery. Literally, he'd be like, "Bam, you won the lottery," and he'd just be like, "Wow," and you'd be like, "Bam, your mom's dead." Wow. Like, it'd just be the same fucking...
But then you're like, Bam, Rachel needs help with those groceries. And he's...
yeah. Is it Rachel? Bam, there's a whale fucking thing the size of the Empire State Building that's just staring you right in your face. Wow. Yeah, it just doesn't matter. But you really kind of... Okay.
Yeah, look, that's the face.
Yeah. Wow. He just goes, wow. Yeah, so...
I'm thinking of like every life scenario is going through, like gets head for the first time. Wow. Shit. Wow.
Anyway, so then he lets Bam know that he's like, sure, I'll make this contract with you, idiot, but this is actually going to be a fucking curse. And then from Bam meeting his floor administrator and making the contract with him, we get into like a little, I guess, montage of some of the other folks going through their respective training. So you got your spear bearers, which this is just a hilarious couple of panels right here when Rack is like, I got this, and then he fucking he misses, and then just fucking the spear just goes and slams right through this thing, and he's just like, what? And he just looks around, and you see my man over here just like menacing as shit. Looks like a Sith Lord or something like that.
I call him Chicken Lips because his mouth kind of looks like a chicken mouth. In that drawing, it kind of looks like a chicken mouth.
I don't even think that's his mouth,
not even
dog.
his mouth,
that's his
that's his
nose.
nose.
Yeah,
that's his nose.
Yeah.
You don't see his teeth right there, and that's his lips.
What?
Zoom in on that.
That's his coat, dog. What are you talking about?
Dog, no, it ain't. Oh shit.
This is his coat, Gavin.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that red piece right
this
there.
is a mask.
Dog, those are the buttons to the coat.
This is his nose. His mouth was under. Yeah.
Me for
no, dude,
chicken
that's
lips.
definitely
It's not. You're wrong. That's his mouth.
100%. Yeah, that's his coat, dude. 100%.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
But his nose is visible.
Yeah.
That's what we said his nose was.
Yeah.
Right, I'm sticking with chicken nose.
Anyway,
Oh my God.
this is a dope shot too. When he's just looking, and you just get to see how tiny Rack is in comparison.
It's like his dog, bro.
Like holy shit, dude! Like because you see Rack compared to someone like Kun or Bam or something. Rack's ginormous, and then this guy just dwarfs him, and it's like Rack then realizes that he fucked up, and he's like,
it was at this moment Rack realized.
Yeah,
he's
like, I'm a head out, and fucking just is like, I'm not worthy to even live, and goes out and fucking trains his ass off like a true fucking savage. So anyway. Then who do we get to? We get back to Bam, and we get to
another one.
Oh, I think your explanation is in here that you were talking about with the Shinsu.
Oh, gotcha. How they're measuring the units or whatever. So then there was Ho there, and he's going through with Bam how to, use Shinsu on a very basic level. And Bam is very impressed, and Laurel isn't at all. And he's like, yeah, you're kind of pathetic. And he's like, Bam, watch, don't worry, he's nothing special. Ready? Hold your hand out like this. And then he's like, I need you to think of the whole world and gather in a circle in your hands. And he goes, okay. And then boom, he just does it. And Ho's like, I'm gonna kill myself, literally.
Yeah.
So
Literally that fucking look of disgust.
yeah, and then
dude,
Laurel's face is just like, do it. That fucking face.
I will laugh at your funeral.
Dude, I gotta say, I love him more and more as we progress through this manhwa. Dude, Laurel or whatever, however you want to say his name, dude, I love him. I don't know why. He's just a fucking G, dude.
No, he's fucking awesome.
Straight savage.
Yeah, so then we get to the folks that have to fill out their friendship forms, and you got Kun and Hots having just like this fucking battle with each other. They just too damn stubborn, which cracks me up. They're fucking going at it. And it's especially funny to see someone like Kun, because it's like you'd think that he wouldn't let something like that get the best of him, but it does. You know what I mean? Like Hots is just so like, dude.
He really does remind me of like younger Sasuke, where it's like he's generally pretty cool and level-headed, but like once you get under his skin, and if you can, kind of like Naruto would, like he will get angry.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess I don't know.
I mean, not like exactly to a T, but like he's
more open than Sasuke, because Sasuke is very much like, I'm gonna cold shoulder everything.
Well, fuck Sasuke, because it's Tower of God. Anyway, moving on. Yeah. So then we get so Rachel has her dream of basically Bam stealing all of her friends from her because she's terrible. Anyway,
bitch.
So then we move on, and this is a really wholesome scene here where and Dorsey goes to the table and she's like, why is everyone friends? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then and they're going through, and Bam's talking with the folks, and he's trying to hook her up with Hots. He's like, you wanna sign a sheet? And she's like 9 about that, even though he's handsome, but I can't do that. And then, Anak comes over too, and then she explains the whole beef that it's like she's not real and all that kind of shit. She's a real person, but she's not a real princess.
Your like massive oversimplification of this is like is painting the story almost as like, all right, and then they did some shit, and this nigga like hit somebody, and then Anak, she's not even real.
It would be funny if we just did this story like plaster drug. If we were just like went through, we're like, and she's not even real. I don't even like her at all.
The most simplistic version ever. That bitch and that bitch. They just fucking, they fall. One of them died.
Yeah, just blitzed out of our minds, and like that's what we do.
Although Enderosi did fucking knock dirty during this whole training.
Yeah, I know. So then they go through this, which is pretty similar to its anime counterpart. Yep. Except I feel they have a bit more of a fight in this one, right? Where it's like there's the other people involved, or she kind of did the same shit, right?
Yeah,
yeah. She kind of
they did that in the anime. They kind of like they glossed over a little bit. Like they went more in depth in like each scene.
Yeah, which isn't anything really to
no.
To go home with, but
although you do learn about Anak's mom, you get more insight about her during this fight.
You kind of learned about her in the anime as well.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but not as like in depth as this.
Yeah. So anyway, they're going through this, and it's at this point, okay, unpopular opinion time. Ready? Here goes half of our fan base. Y'all need to tell me like what all the hype around Endorsey is. Like I gotta know, because it's like you go on like the Reddits and subreddits
beautiful.
And stuff. Okay, but it's like everyone.
I rest my case.
Dude, everyone stands her like so hard, and it's like, dude, there's plenty other beautiful characters. You know what I mean? That you could come across, or like whatever in Tower of God.
All right. So then, who do you stand other than Enderosi?
Well,
other than Yuri.
There's no one else.
I like what's her name? Ryun, the red haired girl, as well. If we're going strictly off looks. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, because, okay, here's my thing. If you're going, yeah, absolutely. 110%. She's way prettier than Enderosi. 1,000%. Don't even give me that look.
I need a side by side.
You're fucking out of your bird, dude. She's way more attractive than her. But I think what attracts people to Enderosi, I guess, is her attitude, I would assume, like her personality.
She's a strong, independent fucking woman.
I guess, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I guess my point I'm getting into here is that I feel like Anak gets a lot of hate, at least what I've seen, and not comments of ours, but like if you look into some things, it's like, I hate that lizard bitch. And like people are just going off.
Really?
Like, yeah, I've seen comments, dude.
I've never seen, I mean, not
yeah,
like that.
They do not.
I've seen people like,
Not everyone,
kind of about
but-
a knock, but never like die, little
To be
bitch.
fair, I mean,
That's like crazy.
well, I did have some animosity like toward her until it really fleshed out about her like standing
I mean,
with her
yeah,
mother.
she comes off obviously as like
Yeah.
abrasive, but like once you learn about her story, she's kind of got a good
And I
reason
think that's
to be
where like
abrasive.
that
Yeah,
hatred,
yeah.
because like before they fleshed out her mom, I even saw that in the comments. They're like, Anok's just a green bitch, and I think I called her green bitch before. And I mean, to be fair, some of it is justifiable, but then once you realize like just everything that happened with her mom, and you know, yada 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 yada, and everything she goes through, it is justifiable to an extent.
Yeah.
So I do feel for her more.
No, I get it. I just want to know. I need to know all my Underossi stands out there. Okay,
Tell him.
Yeah,
Tell
I
him
need
why
to
she's
know,
beautiful.
I need to know why exactly. And don't just say that she's good looking. Whatever. There's plenty of fish in the sea.
I didn't say good looking. I said
I
beautiful.
want to know. Relax. Simmer down
with
there.
all the consonants.
I want to know.
Beautiful.
Okay. I want to know. Beautiful.
I was waiting for him to say like continents because everybody mispronounces the word, and I was waiting for him to say it. But
Australia. No, so I want to know. I want to know specifically why. Like, I need you to go. I need you to tell me a frame by frame here. Why her? Like, why
have
she's the
faith in
greatest?
them.
You
I have
know,
faith
I
in
want to
them.
know because I listen. I'm open to it, and I don't dislike her as a character. Like, she's fine, but I'm not over here like drooling over her. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yet.
she's cool.
I mean, I'm
but
not
like,
drooling over
you know,
her, but like,
she's like-
she's a G.
you know, it's like she's cool, but I don't really get like all the hype. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know. You know,
You guys make me fucking sick.
I don't. Anyway, moving on.
What? I'm more on your side than his.
Yeah, but
I
you're not
can
in my church, Gavin. You're not over here saying prayers with me, right? You're standing outside the front door like an idiot.
I'm looking into the peephole like, hey, what you got?
Yo, for real, right?
Is that food out yet? All right, peace.
Gavin's in church for the fucking appetizers. That's what he's in
dude,
that
facts.
fucking church
And
for.
I was up to that. Wait, was that red hair chick you were talking
Yeah.
What are we talking about, Tower of God?
Yeah. That's her. The one who gets her fucking wig blown off.
Her face blown off her wig.
Yeah. Dude, anyway, so we briefly go through kind of the backstory of Anok's mother, and kind of as a precursor to that, I scrolled through because we don't need to be there all damn day. We go through the fucking, we go through.
I think we should just say that, like, all things aside of this episode, we've had some technical difficulties and we're a little bit strung.
Yeah.
So we might be speeding through this a little bit.
I'd be lying if I said this wasn't like the 5th time we've had to cut the fucking camera because of the fucked up in this episode.
Yeah,
so I
so
love
we're-
you all for sticking along with us on this ride. We're having some fun with it now. But anyway, so we briefly go into how Jihad distributes his power and how that works to be a princess, right, of Jihad. You are not blood related to Jihad. None of you are. You cannot have... make love or have, I was trying to sugarcoat it. You cannot make love to other people, right? You can't have, you can't have children. These are all things that are just punishable, but by death.
Yeah. He was like trying to beat her out of the bush. Like, if you fucking bang, you die.
Yeah, that's it.
These are
Like,
the fucking
you're dead.
circumstances.
Strict abstinence. They got the chastity ring, the whole fucking nine. Jihad's like, I will literally kill you, okay, if you fuck anyone.
Man.
That happens, hence Anok, and she dies. So, we kind of go into that whole thing there, and they're kind of like guardians of the kingdom, right? They're just these badasses, which, was cool to get the explanation. We go back here to after the fact, and Dorsey is now befriended by Bam and the like, because Kun has the master idea to be like, all right, I know a way to a woman's heart, or anyone for that matter, and it's food. And plus, she can't get any herself, so you're going to use this to your advantage.
Food and vulnerability.
Yeah,
Got it.
exactly.
Yo, but not only was that amazing when they had the fucking the second play by Shibisu with Anok, and he's like he sets up this whole scheme, and she's like, what is this? And he's like, well, I heard it kind of worked, so you want to sign my paper? And she's like, I'll kill you. And he's like, all right, here's the food. He's like, you win. He's like, no
He
more,
caved
no more.
too fast.
Yeah.
Bam was like, Bam doesn't care.
Yeah.
He's like, nope.
No, yeah,
Nope. And he just pulls her up. She's like, I will kill you. And he's like, nope.
Shibisu, and she's like, I will kill you. And he's like, here is your food. You want dessert, please?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Freaking
Amazing.
hysterical. So then we had, I brushed over the scene where Dorsey and Rachel are in the bathroom together, and Dorsey's like, whatever you're freaking going up this tower for better be more important than Bam, because he's like pretty fucking cool. So you just seem stupid, and she is. Anyway, so moving on.
Rachel sucks.
Yeah, we have, I think this is actually where they explain.
I was way off.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
8
sorry.
chapters
I knew
back.
I was like, it was with Rice Ball, but I was like, what the fuck? Anyway, so they, so he's kind of going through the units of measurement, as it were, right? And how much Shinsu you could use in specific bursts and like how many people you could detain with having it and how much it equates to. And I'm not going to break it down like fucking chemistry here because I can't remember everything. So bear with me, spare me in the comments. But he's going through the basics of that. And that is something that was not specified in the anime, if I am not mistaken.
At least to a
or if
certain
it
degree.
was,
Yeah,
if it
I don't
was
think so. I don't think it was. Yeah, like
it wasn't really gone
that,
into
like,
right
aggressively.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like, here's Shinsu. This is
Yeah.
what it does. This is what you can do with it.
Especially because this is going to pop up later once we get into the testing with Quant,
Right.
where this definitely wasn't shown in the anime. So
Yeah.
it's relevant, right, to like why these characters are able to
Right.
do certain things that they are, and it sheds a lot more light.
Yeah, and it's interesting
you know?
having seen the anime first again because you watch the anime and you're like, oh, okay, that's what Shinsu is. They can do this, and then you get to that moment in the test, and they're, all of a sudden Quant's pulling out these crazy things, and you're like, oh wait, what the fuck? Like you can just do that. To where here it's like, even if you didn't see that like thing coming specifically, like you had the setup, right? You understand, and it's much more established. Like these are the kinds of things that you theoretically might be able to do with Shinsu. So when this happens later in the payoff, it's like, oh, okay, he did, like, you know what I mean? Everything sort of like rolls back into itself.
Yep.
Yeah.
I also like, what was his name? Laurel? Fuck, I always forget it.
The blanket guy?
Yeah, sleeping guy.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
call him Laurel
Laurel?
Laurel or
Laurel.
Laurel.
All right, I'll call him Sleepy. All right. So I'll call him
Laurel.
Sleepy.
I don't know. His name is weird.
This is how we do it. We
It's like a
try
tongue
the
twister,
names
yeah.
for like 5 minutes and then call them something based off what they look like.
Yeah.
And then actually look up the name
We're
and be
the
like, oh, we're
literal
idiots.
worst.
We just have to actually look at how it's spelled.
We're like,
But,
Laurel, I'll call him Sleepy. It's like, what?
Yeah, like Lopo Ren. How about Rice Ball? All right, how about that? That's just way easier.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But Sleepy, I like the interaction he has with I'm running with it. If you don't care, I don't.
Snow White and the Seven Dwarves
Yeah,
over here.
dude,
We got fucking Rachel and the Seven Dwarves. We got fucking Rice Ball, Sleepy.
Oh my god. We're just
just
gonna make a different anime by the time we're done with this. We're like, yo, did you watch Tower of God? Yeah, when Rice Ball talked to Sleepy. It's like, what are you talking about?
No, but when
The actual worst. We are the actual worst.
When Sleepy and Bam had that interaction with Shinzu, I really like how Sleepy actually understood the power that.
I can't.
All right, you know what?
Laurel. Just call him Laurel.
Laurel.
So I
Somebody
like how,
please specify that. Can they do like the brackets above, where they do like the little symbols of like how you pronounce something
yeah,
if you
yeah,
look it
yeah.
up on Google
Spell
or
it
some
phonetically,
shit?
but
Yeah,
I don't even fucking know
that's
at this
it.
point. Laurel and Bam, when Laurel understands the power that Bam has, after the after he teaches him how to shoot like the individual one or like attain it, I guess. When Bam starts, manifesting two of them and more. Well, I mean, it was only two to the point that we were at, but he was like, "Holy shit! Like this took me forever." And then you got Rice Ball, who's like, "Yo, this shit took me like 2 years, and even then, like." That's nothing. You did the shit in like a day, they're all recognizing his power, and that plays later on to where they're in their tests, especially by Rice Ball, who's like, yo, don't sleep on Bam because you about to fuck some bitches up, And no, but it's dope how they have it with Laurel. Like in the anime, all he's doing is sleeping. He's not doing anything else. But like how much power he has at this point and how he's able to recognize other people with power.
Yes.
And I also like how they explained him sleeping all the time, where he's reading Shinsu. Like that's why he's
Yeah,
always sleeping.
yeah, yeah,
like it
yeah.
finally sheds some light where
Yes.
he's not just a lazy asshole. Like
Oh,
he's
he
actually
always-
doing
he always-
stuff.
like these characters in anime or manhwa or whatever, right? It's like they have the same archetypes. Like there's so much of Shikamaru in this guy where it's like, you meet him out the gate and it's like, oh, I'm just like ignoring everything.
why I
and like,
love him.
I'm sleepy all the
If
time.
you
and
make
you're like,
one more
all right,
goddamn
so he's-
comparison to Naruto, I'm gonna
Look,
fucking
bro,
slap you.
I'm calling it like I fucking see it, bro.
Dude,
if I
and
see
that's why I
Shikamaru,
love
I'm
Laurel
calling
so
him
much
Shikamaru.
because
Yeah.
I love.
Now there are similar.
Yeah.
I know. I understand what you're saying though. There are similar archetypes, just archetypal patterns that you see throughout humans, right? And in storytelling, and he definitely fits that mold, as do others like Shikamaru in Naruto and like other characters in the other shows for sure.
Shikamaru is the best.
Yeah, shut up. All right. Anyway, but yeah, he's pretty dope. So we briefly skipped over it, but we briefly go through Ho having his dream. Sorry, it's a funny name. Having his dream of not being able to save everyone from the giant ugly ogre thing, and they all fucking died because he's a weak bitch.
Can we
And-
just
All
take
he
a
can
look
do
at
is
this-
fucking juggle 2 light balls and
Can
call
we
it a
just
day. Like what
take
can
a look
you
at
do?
this discount class photo right here? Like it's like they all got rolled in and they're like, all right, guys, smile, and
wait,
nobody
but you know how
wanted
you guys
to
were
smile.
talking about that side character shit? Like these guys got some purpose, and then there's just like the zero detail, the zero detail. Like who has a purpose in this
Which
show.
is funny because
just from how they're
your
dressed.
boy in the green skin in the way back is in this
Yeah.
for a lot longer than I feel like he should be.
Paracule?
Yeah, that dude.
Paracule.
Hercule. And I know somebody roasted
He
us
totally
Yeah,
looks like a
somebody
side
roasted us
character,
that name.
but like,
is
or
that Rachel? That is Rachel.
It's Michelle. Thank you very much.
Yeah, please use her
Michelle.
full name.
Yeah, you can suck my Michelle. Anyway, so Ho is his dream, and then there's a scene where Leroro goes to Hang Sung, and he's like, so what's this next test? And Hang Sung's like, I got it. And Quant fucking blasts through the door, and he's like, ha-ha! And Leroro's like, no. He's like, this is gonna, did you not remember that he fucking murdered everyone in the first test? Literally murdered.
Literally everyone.
Literally murdered them. There were 3 people that passed. Like, we're not gonna have a fucking tower if we're all dead. Like, he's like, we need to fucking relax. And Quant's like, dude, I got this, relax. And Hensung's just kind of sipping his coffee, doing his thing.
He's like, yo, he delivers me this coffee. He's good.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Quant's like,
Questions
would you
asked.
like your coffee? How many people would you like me to ice today? And he's just like, so anyway, so he tells him that, and then we go into this discount glass photo over here while Leroro has to go on and put a smile on his face, even though he's I don't agree with this at all. And he's like, a teacher that just strictly does not agree with the curriculum that is being put forward. And it's like, I got to teach it. So he's kind of going through everything that's going on. He's like, he's going through the game. He's going to describe how it is that they're separated into 2 teams. There's going to be, Hang Sung is helping him describe it as well. There's going to be the arena per se, right over here, the big circular thingamajig, and then they're in the building over there, and that they have to have a seeker, a safety zone, and an exit. That the person that is it will wear the badge, and they have to make it to one of the exits before Quant touches the badge, tagging them essentially or taking it. Yeah. And they can also do that back to Quant as well, which, by the way, love this character. Yeah. He's freaking great. He's growing on me so much. Is like one of my favorites right now in the beginning. Like, he's just freaking hysterical.
And this manhwa gives me like heavy Demon Slayer vibes, but specifically the Demon Slayer manga, in the sense that like the character like designs and drawings are also like distinct and like, kind of just like different looking, and like it generally has this very like I don't know if serious is the right word, but like very monotonish like vibe where it's like everybody just kind of looks like just very, I don't know, like I don't want to say bland because that sounds like negative, but like plain, I guess. But then like every once in a while you get a panel or a shot where like somebody's doing some crazy stupid thing, and like they're drawn in such a fun, like that last panel with like him like spitting the coffee out, and like where it's like
very simplistic, but like it's enjoyable. It's almost refreshing.
Like, they would be doing some serious thing or having some serious conversation, and then literally one panel in the middle, all of it, like somebody's doing something funny or stupid, and they're drawing like it. But
I like it because it gives it a good comedic relief.
Yeah,
like, you look at Quaint, and it's like funny because there isn't Quant. You can Quant. I'm gonna fucking Quant you. Quaint, Quant, same difference.
No.
What do you mean?
Gavin, you're not helping our case at all. There are people that roast us already for fucking these names up, and now I just feel like it's intentional.
No, I'll call him by his dope ass last name then, Blitz, because that is fucking a G move.
All right, fair enough. Go ahead.
Blitz. Blitzcrank, League of Legends. Best champ.
Go ahead.
Throwing that
every opportunity to plug League of Legends. I swear to God.
No, but from there we go into the actual test. So Quant is, fucking laughing. He's like, "Don't worry, I'm gonna go easy on you guys." Like, and
I'm not gonna kill all of them, just most of them.
Bam and Rachel are separated. I'm sorry. Bam and Kun are separated, and Bam's like, "Oh, that sucks." Like when you get picked in dodgeball to be on like your boy, it's like, "Dude, we're gonna fuck shit up." And then the captain picks it, and he's like, "Nah." It's like we're back. Yeah. So anyway, they get put on separate teams, sort of, and then we kind of go into the test here, and Kun kind of lays out this whole plan. He's like, "All right, we could vote on leader, but it's me. And we're going to go through I'm going to go through my plan here. Okay. Cause I knew it was going to be me to start. And I'm going to explain it to y'all. So he's like, there's no way on God's green earth we are fucking escaping him in any way, shape, or form. So what we have to do is try and fucking capture him.
I just imagine like Kun walking in the room with like that big dick energy. He's like, all right, we can fight about the leader, but when we decide that it's me, here's the plan. That man could kill all of us without even blinking.
Here's the plan.
Like, just come in and scare the fuck out of everybody. It's like,
for real, right? So he goes through the plan, right? And he says that basically we are going to have to catch Quant himself because there's no way this is going to happen the other way around. It'll throw him off. So throughout the course of this, and obviously that's like the plan, but really the plan shifts like 8 times. Sure, and by the end of it, you realize that plan was like a mock plan the whole fucking time.
Like any good plan, the first plan was never the plan.
Exactly.
A, B, C, D, all the way down to Z.
Yeah, literally. Plan Z was the plan that only Kun knew to begin with anyway.
And what he had, I guess, rolling from the very beginning because he knew all this was going to happen.
Which is just goes to show how much of a G he is. But anyway, so a lot of funny panels between...
I just like look up and it's
My man got gator face, bro.
For real.
Yo, for real. We get some funny
Shibuzu, yeah.
freaking panels, obviously, with Shibuzu and Quant when they're going at it, because Shibuzu is basically the bait.
I love it how, like, preceding this point, Shibuzu's like, all I gotta do is not cry. And then immediately the next panel, he's fucking in tears like, yeah!
And he goes, save me, Kun. He's scary. Save me, Kun.
Dude, I love that.
It's fucking great.
I love Shibuzu.
But one thing that I do appreciate throughout this as compared to the anime is that we get a lot of time with all of these interactions between all of the characters and Quant for Quant to describe what it is, not necessarily that they're doing wrong, although sometimes he does, but breaking down how these roles work and like how you should be utilizing your roles, and how because of the fact that he's been in X role for so long, he's been able to master the ins and outs of it, right?
Effectively teaching them while beating them.
Exactly.
Which is the coolest kind of teaching.
Exactly, right? So it's like Quant's actually a pretty cool teacher at the end of the day, which is also funny because he is Shibusu's teacher as well for the the scouts or something like that.
Yeah, scout.
And so that was hilarious, you know what I mean? He's trying to play those strings, and Quant's just not having it. But yeah, so he's going through basically how it works, how you need to blind the lighthouse person, which is named who now? Seeker? No. I'm fucking an idiot. Anyway, the roles. Who controls the lighthouse? The Kun. What role is Kun?
The light.
Is it
What's
just
it called? I think it's called the Lighthouse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm pretty sure it's just
I think
called
it's called the
Lighthouse.
Lighthouse.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why you were like, Lighthouse what? I'm like, I thought that was it.
Damn, the lighthouse. Whatever. Anyway.
Oh, wait. Oh, you're talking about his role. I think
What their role's called. I literally just had a brain fart. I'm so sorry.
It isn't the Lighthouse? It will go by the Lighthouse.
Whatever. Dude, fucking shoot. It's been such a long day. Anyway, so then, like I said, Quant is teaching while kicking ass, and Shibusu was like, why the fuck does he need any light? By the way, dope shot there. And Quant is like, that's sick. Quant's like, I don't need light because I'm using the Shinsu in whatever way that I am. You know what I mean? Because he's like, okay, you blind the lighthouse, you do this, you go through it all. Not going to really re-explain it, but they go through their plan, and basically Anak tries to fight him. And he's like, oh, okay, balls. I respect it. He's like, I get it now. I think this plan is coming together. And one thing that I'd like to go through with Quant, just in general, is that I feel as if you're supposed to kind of discount him at the beginning, right? Yeah. And it's like Quant as a character is incredibly intelligent. Like maybe incredibly is a strong word, but he's much more intelligent than I feel most people will give him credit for at a moment's notice, right?
I think he's a very emotionally intelligent character, which people often interpret as like traditionally.
I actually think it's the opposite.
It's the opposite.
I think it's the opposite. I think he's very emotionally unintelligent. That's what makes him seem unintelligent, because he loses his temper easily. Yeah. And
I don't think that's the same thing as being emotionally unintelligent.
100%.
Just because you have a short temper.
No, but he lets his emotions get the best of him.
Yeah, you let your emotions get the best of you in the moment, in moments like that, and you get hot headed. That would constitute. But I think he's very battlefield intelligent, I guess, if that would be a thing, or like battlefield savvy. Clearly, like he's been able to he's been in the fray before. And I also feel like he's very, I don't think analytical is the right word, but he
has experience.
Yeah, I think he has a lot of experience, and he's able to use almost like book smart in a sense, right? Where it's like, okay, I know this because of this, that, and the third.
I'd argue he's even analytical too, because he pretty much knows all their plans. Like he lays it out. He's like, I know this person's here, this person's there. He's like, bam, 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 bam. These are your ducks in a row. Like eat shit. And
but again, like, I don't know if that's more like because he analyzed it, or because he has so much experience, he knows like what. Because don't forget, like all these people are students at this point. Like their skills and the things they can come up with is probably stuff he's seen 1,000 times already.
Again,
so it's probably not so much like analyzing their moves as in like this is the only logical step that they would probably make, because he's seen this kind of stuff 100 times.
That comes hand in hand though. Like you have to have that analytics off of experience. You know, you can have all the experience in the world, but it's if you like actually attain that experience and apply it. He's applying his experience, and that is giving him the knowledge of what's going to happen on the field, and he's applying that. Like it's just as much as he probably thought of every X hundred ways that this could turn out, but like on the spot, he's able to like dissect the situation and go, like even when he first interacts with Shibusu, he's like, you're here, I know because you're here, X, Y, Z, bam, bam, bam's going to happen, because he analyzed that situation that was in front of him. You know, you can have all the experience in the world, but you need to be able to apply it. Like, a different situation could have came, and he could be like, bam, this is my analytics for what this situation is happening, X, Y, Z. Yes, it is and can be from experience, but it's learning from that experience and applying it. Like, that's what analytics is. Like, you need the experience to apply analytics. Like, you don't just, like, analytically, you don't just know everything because you're a god. Like, you need to know from experience, hey, this works in this situation. I'm going to apply it in this situation. And even then, it didn't work out in his favor because then you had Kuhn apply his analytics a little bit differently. And, you know, he changed the situation up. And, you know, it went outside of what Blitz knows. But again, I would say that his analyzing skills are really up there. So I'm probably on par, a little bit below Lero Ren or Lero Ro.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know. Yeah. He definitely has experience. We could definitely agree on that because he's a ranker, right? So it's like, I think a lot of what at least I was trying to say in the beginning is that he is considered one of the weaker rankers, I guess, in terms of Lero Ro, Hansung, etc. But again, it goes to show that weak ranker or not, just the fact that you were a ranker definitely puts you leagues above.
You made it to the top of the tower somehow.
Yeah, like anyone else, right? Yeah. So we definitely don't want to discount him. And I'm actually excited to see more of him in the future because I have a feeling they're going to show him. And I hope that he plays a decent like role.
Oh, we'll think about when he goes off with Lero Ro. If he does, that's going to be insane.
Like later in it. So yeah. And I love this scene too, if we refer here, that how Lero Ro is almost thinking of these things through as they're playing out, right? And he's like, okay, Quant's got it, right? He's like, there's no way. And he's analyzing the situation, trying to figure out from his own deduction skills how this is going to play out. He's like, well, if I was this person, that... And it was really cool to see because it's, you know, the outside perspective of it, and that even Lero Ro doesn't fully understand what's at play, whereas someone like Hansung kind of, you know, you feel like he's got to know from the start.
He does. He kind of says it. He's like, I don't put your eggs in one basket or all your eggs in one basket. Like, something's going to happen.
And it shows that, you know, Hansung, you know, as much as we just praise Lero Ro and Quant, it's like Hansung even seems to be on another level. Right? You know what I mean? Definitely. Like, so that's going to be an interesting play. It was cool to watch Lero Ro go through and analyze this in his head. It reminds me, like, when people watch like one of those shows where they're asking like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire or something like that, and they're asking the questions, and person's like, and like you're on the other side of the TV trying to think of like, would I have gotten that? You know, like that's what it was the whole time. They're watching from the monitor. And while the other team, Team B, I believe, is, you know, looking through, they're like, fail, and Bam's like, well, they could kind of pass. It might be cool, right? Like,
He's like, yeah,
I hope they fail. I mean, or they could pass.
Yeah. It's like, Bam, who the fuck side are you on here? You know.
But it's nice because he steps back too, and he's like, should I be cheering them on? Because like he has that like that realization where he's like, am I wrong for like not being 100% with my team right now? And I thought that was interesting to add. And then he was like, nah, let me stop being a bitch. I'm in it for fucking.
Nah, let me stop being a bitch. He says. Oh my god.
Spark notes.
Anyway, what is this one? I forgot about this. Because I don't want to have blood of so many he goes, I'm not using Shinsu because I don't want to have the blood of so many regulars on my hands. He goes, keep that in mind. He gives a badass look. Kill these motherfuckers. And then they just pause and fucking Lero Ro and Hansung are just fucking dying.
Like that was great.
It was like, that was so funny. They're like, wow. And like even Shinsu's like, wow, dude. Like, all right, dude. Like, oh shit, big man on campus here. Like, back off. That shit was hilarious.
Well, that's because he was like, don't laugh at me, Lero Ro. And he's like, wow, that's kind of childish. And they're just going, oh my god, that's amazing.
Right.
I love their relationship.
Oh, it's hilarious.
I feel like I like the administrators more. Like in the anime, it's kind of like they were portraying to where you kind of didn't want to trust them. You always felt like they had something against each other. And even though they probably do and like still have, it's more refreshing when they have this relationship where you can like sit back and be like, all right, they still like banner and have a good time and, you know, are pretty chill.
Yeah. No, that's actually a very good point that you bring up, because I feel like if we're comparing this to the anime does not so... Okay, let's put it this way. The manhwa does a better job at kind of fleshing out exactly what you just said, right? Where it's like, oh, wow, I could actually kind of hop on board with some of these characters now, and like they're kind of funny. Where it was like the anime was like, okay, Quant's a hothead that might just kill you. And Lero Ro is like, you know what I mean? He's like, ha, 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 I'm up here giving these tests, you know? And it's like, you kind of got to see that fleshed out throughout the anime, so it's not fully there, but I think it took a little longer. Whereas right off the bat from things like this in these tests, because of the explanations that they give and a little more personality that they give these characters, it's interesting to see them, you know, a little more fleshed out, and it makes them more likable, in my personal opinion.
Especially for Quant and Hansong. I think that they did them a lot more justice in the manhwa than the anime, personally.
Yeah.
But,
so then we get to kind of the crux of the whole discussion here, right? And this is when Quant is going across the bridge, and he's going to catch a knock. And we got our man Kun there with the briefcase chilling, okay? And I love this scene just in general. It's actually not even a couple panels, like it's like a couple chapters long, actually. This whole dialogue that goes down between them, right? So we see Quant basically making a fool out of every person, right, that there is on this team. And it's just showing the gap in experience and power level that we have. And then we have Kun. And Kun is just different, man. Like, he is just different than all of these contestants. And Kun is the only one that, A, is not made a fool out of, and B, makes a fool out of Quant, which is saying something, like, beyond levels of understanding for anyone else that's at that level, except I would argue Laryl as well. Because Laryl, at the end, kind of goes along with the plan as well. He's like, yeah, fuck it, I knew this was
Kun, dude. I love him so much. This scene is like the definition of big dick energy. Like, Quant shows up here and he's like, bro, I got you. And he's like, oh, nigga, you thought. Like, he really just does it. Oh, it's so good.
But I love it, right? Because you think at first, okay, all right, we've seen Kun. We know he's super smart. And Kun is like, okay, we're going to do this, right? And he's like, no, she jumped. Are you going to jump? And it's like, okay, that might just be the plan. And Quant sees through it, right? He like talks it through, and he's like, okay, but he's through. And as a reader, or as a first time anime watcher or something like that, even, you know, especially in the manhwa though, like, you're going through and you're like, shit, did he figure it out? Because, like, in your head, you're thinking, yeah, that probably was the best plan. Now, granted, you don't know that Kun has like a levitating rope, to be fair. So we were kind of left out on some, we were kind of left out on some of the clues, but I know, like, the first time that I saw this, I'm like, shit, he got beat. Like, Quant actually did figure out that plan, because I was like, that was a really smart plan to have the box under, and then he'd lift her up as soon as he jumps, playing on his ego. But because,
again, having seen the anime first, like, there's something, and this kind of harkens back to what you guys were saying before, how, like, in the anime, you like naturally had a little bit more distrust with the, like, administrator and all of the rankers, where it's like something about the way anime, like, literally does its storytelling, like, through a visual medium, like, sort of, like, helps or hinder moments like this, at least for me. Like, in this moment, there wasn't a question in my mind that, like, Kun was not going to outsmart Quant's. And I don't know, I can't really put my finger on what it was, but it was something about, like, I guess, like, just Kun's composure. There's, like, he has this, like, you just, like, you know the difference between when, or at least for me, like, I could see the difference between when he was beat and when he wanted it to look like he was beat, right? And, like, that never came through to me, and so every time something happened or Quant said something, I'd be like, all right, but, like, what's the plan behind the wall? You know what I mean? And so when that happened, it was like, okay. And, like, going into this, having that foresight now, it's, like, interesting to try and look for, like, those moments here, and it reads differently. It does read a little bit more like in the manhwa of, like, you can't, that line teeters a little bit more, or, like, you don't really, you can't tell if, like, did Kun really just, get got by Quants, or like, who did what. And the same thing with, like, the administrator and the rankers. And I think that's, like, the manhwa, it allows you to, like, sort of emphasize and draw your own conclusions, like, about certain moments and characters, like, a lot, I don't want to say better necessarily, but, like, more independently, right? So, like, with anime as a visual medium, again, with, like, the music and, like, the settings and stuff, like, there's a way that, like, the show can sort of draw you to conclusions, like, subconsciously, without you even realizing it, to where, like, a manhwa, like a book can't do that. It relies solely on how you interpret the scene. So I think that's a good point, because I definitely, like, had a totally different, opinion, I guess, of this scene the second time around.
Yeah, I think that's cool. So we get to kind of the ending here, which I wanted to highlight some of these shots because they just look cool. And Quant, thinking he's seen through the plan, is like, okay, Hotshot, how about I jump off with you? You know what I mean? Then we'll go and we'll see how it is, right? And from here, I guess you can make the argument that you were making, right? Where it's like, okay, Kun is one cool fucking cucumber under pressure because he's about to get yeeted off this bridge. But then he's like, no, you know what I mean? He's like, and again, like, he's playing it up, obviously, at this point. But again, like if you didn't catch on to that, which to be fair, if you caught on, I would like you caught on knowing that Kuhn was going to make it out of this, but I would like to wager that you didn't know exactly how he was going to make it out of it.
No,
right?
no.
So even knowing that, right, even at this rate, you're going to be like, okay, so how, right? Is he going to make it out? So they go, they go down, Quant's acting cocky as shit, right? Are you going to beg me for mercy, the whole nine? And Kuhn's like, and then just fucking, boop, just lets go. And Quant's like, wait a fucking second. What? Yeah,
What are you doing?
Yeah, right? What are you doing?
You really want to die?
He's like, you really want to die, huh? And he's like, nope, I got magic rope. That's basically what he says. And fucking, so the plan was to almost create a pulley system, knowing 38, yeah, right? Anok's great. I actually like Anok a lot. But fucking pulling 38 chess moves ahead type shit like Kuhn does. And he's like, okay, I know this is at the end of the day, he's going to jump off this bridge with me after everything that's said and done. And when that happens, we're just going to create a pulley system to basically pull you up, Anok. So that's obviously what happens. And Quant is just fucking mind blown right now that he just got tricked so bad. He got pranked, bro, like really bad. And
I got, bro.
Yeah, you just got pranked.
If I didn't watch
bro.
this in the anime, I genuinely would have thought that Kuhn would have lost in that situation. I think so.
Reading it, you think, the first time through?
Because that's how I felt when I was reading it, because I kind of forgot this part, and I was like, wait, how did Kuhn make it out of it? Like, I was genuinely thinking about that, and then, obviously, later on, you figure it out. But if I didn't watch the anime going into it, there would have been many moments where I was like, he's just fucked. And I feel like it would have been, like, not a bad spot to, because that would have been like a learning experience for him. Like, oh, you're not so high and mighty, we're going to kick you down a peg so you have some like room to grow. Like, I don't think that's so far out of the picture.
All right. Anyway, then we get into some of the other instructors going through. And actually, this is something I appreciate, right? As compared again to the anime, because they briefly go over in the anime that some of the characters already know that they're going to pass, or that other characters are going to pass, right? And it's really never stated as to why, although, I mean, if you connect the dots, it's not too hard to understand, right? And Hang-Sung kind of goes into it where it's like, listen, dude, we don't just like give people free rides to make a wish at the top of the tower. Like, we're trying to gauge who's powerful enough to ascend and who's going to make changes and who we need to keep under control. Like, there's way more political dealings to this, obviously, right? So you can kind of connect the dots even in the anime. But I do appreciate that in the webtoon, which they so graciously do all the time, is that they really go in depth as to why it is that these people know that they're going to pass. And that is because these instructors, when they're talking, are basically like, okay, this guy's good, that guy's good. And I think we get into in the next chapter as well. But when they're doing the scoring system, they notice that they're like, shit, the scores didn't even really change, or it might even be this chapter or the next one or whatever, right? And in so knowing that, it's like we already knew who was going to pass this to begin with. Because even if someone had a momentary fuck up, like if Kuhn had a momentary fuck up or something like that, like it might impact you, right? Because they do say like this isn't the end all be all. You can still pass even if you fail this test, right? Yeah. But some people just have a way higher chance of passing, right? Yeah. Like your endorsees are going to pass.
The bar
it does not
much
matter.
higher for some,
right? So I did appreciate how they kind of went into that when they were done, and then Hensung kind of describes to Leroro what happened, right? Even at the end, because Anok loses, right? She doesn't even realize that's gonna happen, right? So she got fucking pranked just like the rest of them. So she's just as much a pawn as everyone else is, which is why Kuhn's the GOAT. But fucking, so we go into the backdrop, which Hensung knew the whole time, and how Kuhn basically wasn't even on that team to begin with, which is just
man was doing this test literally playing for the other team, like
dead ass. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, is he even what? Like, who let that slide? But then I think about it, and they're like, bro, they're changing rules on the fly all the time. And
by the time we got to like him being like, I'm actually on the other side, like this scene here, I was like, all right, sure, whatever. Like, I was like, of course, why not?
Yeah,
of course,
he was just putting on a show.
Because he was like, oh, I failed you guys, and he sold it like really well.
That's just it. Is like he has always come across as this guy who's like never shows anyone all his cards. Yep. Right. Yes. You might see more of them than other people, but you never really 100% know what is on Kuhn's mind.
Sure.
And that makes him both as dangerous, like as an enemy, as it does like as your ally.
He's unpredictable completely.
Yeah, 110%. I also just want to highlight this scene right here real quick.
That is like...
he's like, you weren't going to have any of these?
Yeah.
I just take these, cool.
May I direct your attention to Exhibit A? And how Rice Ball is using his multiple tongues to just eat donuts in mass.
And how this girl with a helmet dome on her head does not look like the weirdest person in the shot.
I like how her comment. She's like, "You like it?" And
yeah,
it's just
somebody
like,
goes. Somebody will come to me and they go, "Should I read Tower of God?" And I'll just direct them to this panel and
Does
be like,
this entertain you?
"Yes, should you? This, my friend, is what I will show you. Should you read Tower of God?" Come at me again for these dumbass questions. Anyway, so like I said, they're already kind of going through who they have chosen already to pass this test, and then the backdrop to it and how Quant was kind of forced into it, because it's like, okay, Quant wins, but it's like, it's almost like just as bad as a loss.
He
because
won
he's
like he was supposed to, like, you know what I mean?
Exactly, like he played right into it, and he is just hella fucking pissed about that. And he's like, this next test, I'm just take out all my anger on them and probably just kill someone straight up. Like, he's like, I'm mad. That's it. So you all deserve death. That's how that's going.
Oh man.
But oh man, he's mad. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, that's really it as far as what we're going to talk about today. Thank you for bearing with us, by the way.
Yes.
For anyone,
really, thank you.
Depending on how the fuck this is edited, you might see some of the bullshit that
If you like
ensued.
this episode, I think that means they like us.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And we love you, seriously, if you came this far.
we do.
But no, we had a lot of fun talking about this section. I hope you guys enjoyed the application of the monitor here as well. We were really excited to get this rolling, and it took a lot to try and get it. And as you've seen, we'd had some technical difficulties with it. So, but we're glad that it's up and running, and hopefully the visual helps any YouTube viewers.
We all feel like Quant right now.
Yeah, because we all feel like fucking Quant.
Yeah,
right
literally.
now.
Exhibit
like,
A.
You know? Yeah, for real, dude. Quant's just like, look. But seriously, thank you guys for sticking along. Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below, what you thought of the webtoon as compared to the anime, if you're one of those people, or not. If you just want to look at the webtoon as the webtoon, that's fine too. Let us know what you thought about the webtoon covering these chapters as well. And what you thought of some of the characters, maybe some in-depth stuff, maybe something we missed or something that was highlighted that we kind of, glossed over as well, because there's a lot going on. Let us know if you have any suggestions for the formatting and just your general thoughts. Tell me how your day went. I want to know how your fucking day went. Is that so much to
How
ask?
you doing?
Yeah, how you doing? And
Hopefully it's better than our day.
yeah, and I hope if
Hopefully.
you're watching this that you're having a wonderful day. But anyway, on a real note, thank you all so much for watching. We hope to catch you in the next one, but until next time, we'll catch you on the flip. Peace.
Later.
Hey folks, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our new episodes.
You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at AoA Podcast if you want to keep up with our content or suggest new ideas for the show.
You can watch us on YouTube or listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Podbean, or more. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week to talk about all things anime.
Ninjas are samurais, blazing the cool knives. Find me in the leaf of the cloud, screaming out Bankai.